Each year, there are hundreds of Bigfoot sightings across the country. Some people devote their lives to the pursuit of the creature. While there's no conclusive proof Bigfoot exists, when some new evidence pops up, you can bet we're gonna check it out.
The way the figure moves seems more like a different animal that doesn't wear clothes.
He's moving. He's moving, he's moving, he's moving. Daisy, come here. Daisy, come here.
Oh, it's moving. It's moving. Look, 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 look. Oh my God. Right here.
Researchers have just found horrible evidence that Bigfoot is roaming the forests of America. In Oconto County, Wisconsin, two travelers saw a big dark creature walking upright, covered in fur, and it left clear signs of its presence. They thought it was a shadow, but then it moved, turning their doubts into real fear. Why are experts paying millions of dollars for this new evidence? Let us uncover the intriguing evidence of Bigfoot, from giant footprints to hair samples that challenge the long-standing tale of this mysterious beast, the strange creature in the dark. Deep in the forests of North America, hidden away, lives Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch. This huge, secretive creature comes from old Native American tales. It roams the forest from Alaska to California, a creature that both scares and fascinates people. In the modern world, Bigfoot stepped out from the mists of lore into the harsh light of media in 1958, when giant footprints were discovered in California. But it was in 1967 that the creature truly captured the public's imagination. The Patterson-Gimlin film, a piece of grainy footage, offered the world a fleeting glimpse of the beast, massive, elusive, and walking with an imposing gait through a clearing. This stark and compelling image branded itself into the collective consciousness, transforming Bigfoot from a creature of indigenous folklore into a superstar of the supernatural. Yet the scientific quest to pin down this hidden being has been controversial and mysterious. Is Bigfoot a relic from our prehistoric past, a surviving member of the giant ape Gigantopithecus, or merely a series of shadows and stories woven into hoaxes and misidentified sightings? Despite numerous expeditions armed with modern technology, from thermal cameras to DNA analysis, no concrete evidence has ever surfaced. No bones, no home, no undisputed proof of existence. But Bigfoot is more than just a creature. It is a cultural icon, a symbol of the wild places of the world that remain just beyond our reach. It represents the tantalizing possibility of undiscovered wonders hiding in the uncharted wilderness. Bigfoot's story is a thrilling saga of exploration, a relentless quest that challenges our understanding of the natural world. This elusive titan continues to inspire, captivate, and mystify. Bigfoot is not just a creature of the forest, it is a phantom of possibility, roaming the shadowy boundaries between myth and reality. Will we ever reveal the full story of Bigfoot? Or will this creature continue to be a legend, forever whispered about in the giant wild forest it's rumored to roam? Seeing Bigfoot really shook the two travelers from them up, turning them from doubters to believers. They felt they had to share their story with friends and neighbors. Surprisingly, they discovered other people had also seen strange figures or movements in the same woods. This made everyone more worried and curious about what was happening there. As word spread, more Oconto County, Wisconsin residents became intrigued and cautious about the forest. Groups formed to explore the woods, equipped with cameras and flashlights, hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive figure or to gather any evidence of its existence. With each expedition, the legendary tale deepened, and the local people developed various theories about what or who it could be. Some residents thought it might be an animal not typically found in their region. Others considered less ordinary explanations due to the elusive nature of the sightings. However, without clear evidence, all these ideas remain speculative. The story of the couple's sighting attracted even more attention, drawing journalists and enthusiasts of strange phenomena to Oconto County. These visitors conducted interviews, held overnight vigils, and set up motion-detecting cameras throughout the forest, eager to uncover anything that could explain the strange sightings. Despite the growing interest in ongoing investigations, the couple revisited the location of their initial encounter multiple times, hoping to understand what they had seen. Each visit, however, only increased their discomfort, as nothing significant was ever observed during these subsequent trips. In 1978, in the quiet community of Minerva, Ohio, a family experienced a series of strange events at their home on the outskirts of town. This situation, often referred to as the Minerva monster case, began with small, unexplained disturbances that gradually escalated into a major local phenomenon. Initially, the family noticed minor annoyances, such as noises and small objects moving around their yard. Soon, these disturbances grew more alarming. Large rocks were thrown toward their home by unseen hands. This frightened the family and confused those who heard about it. The throwing of the rocks seemed random and without any clear purpose. Around the same time, the family and their neighbors discovered unusually large footprints in the dirt near their home. These footprints were bigger than any typical animal in the area and too large to be human. The appearance of these footprints added to the growing concern among the residents. People started to talk about the possibility of a large unknown creature roaming the area. The local media caught wind of the story, and soon newspapers and TV reporters were covering the strange happenings. The mysterious events in Minerva drew crowds of curious onlookers and media personnel, all eager to see the site of these bizarre occurrences. Some came hoping to solve the legend themselves, while others simply wanted to experience the strange events firsthand. Various people, from animal experts to local enthusiasts, offered their thoughts on what could be causing the disturbances. Ideas ranged from practical jokes to unknown animals, yet no one could provide a clear answer. Many attempts were made to capture evidence of the creature or phenomenon, including setting up cameras and organizing groups to watch the area at night. Despite these efforts, no clear evidence was ever found to explain the strange events. As weeks turned into months, the frequency of the disturbances began to decrease. The rock-throwing incidents became less common, and the mysterious footprints appeared less frequently. Eventually, the strange events stopped occurring, and the attention of the media and the public began to fade. However, the impact of these events lingered in the community. The family at the heart of these events was left with a lasting sense of unease and many unanswered questions. They often wondered about the nature of the disturbances they had experienced and why they had been targeted. The broader community also felt the effects of the situation. Even after the excitement had died down, people continued to talk about what had happened. The story of the Minerva monster became a local legend, a tale told to recount the unexplainable events that had occurred. Over in Wisconsin, during a regular evening drive in Oconto County, a woman reported seeing a large dark figure that looked like a man but moved with a strange, silent grace. This figure walked on two legs and was covered in fur, blending in with the night. The size and the features of the figure made her question what she had witnessed as she continued her path, now filled with a mix of curiosity and fear. Down in Mississippi, a man who was out hunting hogs came across what he first thought was a skunk ape, a local version of Bigfoot. He observed it rummaging through the underbrush. To his astonishment, the creature stood upright, revealing its massive size. Shocked by what he saw, the hunter quickly left the area, his mind racing from the encounter. These experiences from different places share a common element. They prompt us to think about and question the unknown things we sometimes encounter. Whether these experiences are real or just misunderstandings, they continue to draw our attention and make us wonder about the unexplained things around us. In Heflin, Alabama, a notable event unfolded for a couple who had previously dismissed strange noises near their home as insignificant. Their perception dramatically shifted one evening at dusk. As the evening approached and the light dimmed, something unexpected occurred. The couple was outside when they saw movement at the edge of the woods close to their home. Intrigued yet cautious, they watched intently. Suddenly, a large figure stepped partly from behind a tree. It was much larger than any normal human, with thick, dark fur and wide shoulders that set it apart from typical forest creatures. The couple noticed that this figure resembled the often described Bigfoot. The creature seemed to know they were watching. It looked out from behind the tree, surveying its surroundings quickly. This moment allowed the couple to see it clearly, confirming its resemblance to Bigfoot, a shocking realization for them. The creature then quickly disappeared back into the trees from which it emerged, leaving the couple in awe and a bit frightened. The quick glimpse was short, but had a significant effect on them. They began to reconsider their earlier doubts about Bigfoot. The event deeply influenced them, changing their casual dismissal of earlier noises to a serious consideration of the possibility that something extraordinary might be living nearby. This experience in Heflin not only altered the couple's views, but also contributed to the wider conversation about Bigfoot in rural American communities. Such rare and brief sightings keep the interest in discussions about these elusive creatures alive, challenging the boundary between known wildlife and the stories embedded in local folklore. Following this encounter, the couple became more attentive and careful around their home. Their earlier indifference was replaced by a serious curiosity about the natural mysteries surrounding them. The sighting in Heflin remains a powerful story in the ongoing narrative of Bigfoot sightings, illustrating the fine line between dismissed legends and the potential realities hidden in America's vast natural landscapes. On the internet, a video from Mexico was shared, claiming to show a real giant. It led to a wide range of reactions from viewers. Some people believed it, while others thought it was just for fun, showing how quickly people can get involved in exciting stories, even without much proof. Likewise, a group of young people in California captured what they believed to be Bigfoot on video during a camping trip. The video was long and intriguing, but not clear, which excited many but also left doubts. Like many similar sightings, it sparked a lot of discussion but didn't provide any conclusive evidence. In Canada, a story unfolded that caught the interest of many. A man who was out hunting moose encountered something unexpected. As he moved through the thick woods, he spotted a large creature quickly crossing the road. He thought it was a female Sasquatch. This sighting adds to numerous other tales from those who have ventured into isolated natural areas. Though these glimpses are brief and lack detailed proof, they keep alive an interest in unknown creatures that might live on our planet. These stories spread among communities, building a shared sense of excitement and a collective urge to find out the truth about these hidden beings. The idea that there could be undiscovered creatures in remote areas of the world captivates our imagination and challenges our understanding of the world. It serves as a reminder of the unknowns that still exist in a world where technology and information seem to have explained so much. This incident in Canada is not just a single event. It connects with many reports of similar sightings around the world. Each claimed sighting weaves into a larger story of folklore and curiosity. They show our deep and lasting interest in exploring and explaining the unknown. These tales are popular not because they provide clear evidence, but because they mirror our deep, almost natural curiosity about the world outside human control. They remind us of a time when myths and folklore helped explain the unexplainable. Today, stories of Sasquatch bridge the gap between old myths and the modern quest for knowledge. Those who tell these stories often talk about their feelings of fear, amazement, and excitement. Just the thought of meeting something so extraordinary drives some people to keep searching, even if others doubt them. For these searchers, the journey and the excitement of maybe finding something are as important as actual proof. The hunter's short encounter is a clear example of how such moments, though quick, can have a lasting impact. They lead to more talks, investigations, and even trips trying to find what might be hidden in less-known parts of our world. Whether these creatures are real or not, the stories about them continue to excite, interest, and encourage us to keep questioning what we know. Jerry Crew, who worked with heavy machines in the forests of Humboldt County, California, found very large footprints in the mud. This discovery made his colleagues talk about similar footprints and strange things they had seen at work. They started calling the unknown creature Bigfoot. At first, Jerry thought it was just a joke by someone, but as he found more footprints, he decided to tell a journalist. Soon, his story and a picture of him with a footprint cast were on the front page of a newspaper on October 6, 1958. Footprints appear, hinting at something big ahead. Bigfoot sightings across America. A family encountered huge footprints while hunting in a remote part of the Everglades. The sight of the footprints ended their trip quickly. Years later, the father still firmly believes what he saw was real, and he has never doubted the truth of that day. California has reported the most sightings of Bigfoot, with many people sharing stories of their encounters. For instance, in January 2022, a family hiking in Humboldt County heard a scream so loud and strange that they felt it couldn't be any known animal. This sound made them feel watched, and they left the area quickly. Georgia, two men, Matt Witten and Rick Dyer, claimed they found the body of a Bigfoot. They showed it at a news conference and even started selling trips to look for Bigfoot, although people were skeptical about whether their story was true. A man named Matthew Wentz found a huge footprint that he thought could only belong to a Bigfoot. He took a photo of it and shared it, noting that it was much larger than any bear footprint he had seen. This added to a series of similar reports from the area, although more people are now visiting these mountains, which some think would scare away any secretive creatures. Even recently in Florida in 2021, a driver saw a very large creature walking along the road. The driver described it as looking like a huge football player covered in thick fur, which seemed very out of place in the hot Florida weather. The driver was sure that what he saw was not human. these stories and sightings continue to be shared by people from different places and times. They contribute to ongoing discussions and interest in the possibility that there is a large, unknown creature living in the forest. The repeated nature of these reports keeps the conversation alive as people try to understand what they might have seen or experienced. Across different cultures, stories of large, hairy beings have been passed down through generations. These tales often describe these creatures as nocturnal beings that parents mention to ensure children behave, threatening that these monsters might snatch them away at night. There were stories among native people about a group called the Scums, wild men who supposedly ate humans and lived at the top of Mount St. Helens in southern Washington state. In another incident from 1924, gold prospectors reportedly had a violent encounter with what they described as ape men. This event was reported on July 16, 1924, and has since become a well-known story among those who follow Bigfoot legends, with the place being nicknamed Ape Canyon. Today, these tales continue to be shared, especially online. One Reddit user in the Ask Me Anything forum claimed to have had many interactions with Bigfoot and done extensive research. They shared several key points. First, the idea that there is only one Bigfoot is incorrect. They believe there is a whole species. They also noted that creatures like the Yeti might be related to Bigfoot. This user referenced ancient bones dating back 300,000 years from a giant ape called Gigantopithecus blacki, believed to be an ancestor of today's Bigfoot. Every year, around 400 Bigfoot sightings are recorded across various locations. These beings are usually described as extremely tall, with their bodies almost entirely covered in dense fur, apart from their faces, palms, and the bottoms of their feet. Witnesses often report a powerful odor associated with these creatures, who are omnivorous, consuming both plants and animals. Additionally, Bigfoot is believed to possess exceptional night vision, which contributes to its elusive nature. Despite their size and potential to intimidate, Bigfoot creatures are consistently described as very cautious and reclusive when encountering humans. This shyness is part of why concrete evidence of their existence remains elusive, and much of the so-called proof is anecdotal or circumstantial. The most tangible evidence cited in Bigfoot sightings involves footprints. These prints are notable not only for their large size, with strides commonly spanning 4 to 5 feet, but also for their depth, which suggests that these creatures are quite heavy, likely weighing between 600 to 700 pounds. The size and weight estimates are often derived from the impressions left behind in soil or mud, which offers some clues about their physical characteristics, but still leave much to the imagination. The environments where Bigfoot is commonly reported include dense forests and secluded mountainous areas, primarily in North America. These remote settings provide a perfect backdrop for such a creature to live undisturbed. The thick forests offer ample coverage and food sources, supporting the theory that Bigfoot could potentially exist away from human interference. Investigations into the existence of Bigfoot often involve collecting these footprints, as well as attempting to capture photographic evidence through camera traps or video recordings. However, the quality of this evidence is frequently questioned by skeptics who point out that it could be fabricated or misinterpreted natural phenomena. Despite the skepticism, the intrigue surrounding Bigfoot persists, fueled by new reports and sightings that continually emerge. Each report adds to the lore surrounding these mysterious creatures, painting a picture of an animal that is both part of the natural world and a legend in its own right. Bigfoot inspires books, movies, and documentaries, as well as guided tours and expeditions aimed at catching a glimpse of the creature. This interest not only highlights the human appetite for the unknown, but also stimulates local economies where sightings are frequent. Moreover, the ongoing curiosity about Bigfoot raises questions about what else might be lurking undiscovered in the wilderness. It challenges our understanding of wildlife and the diversity of species that may remain hidden from modern science due to their habitats or behaviors. In President Theodore Roosevelt, 1893 book, The Wilderness Hunter, he shared a story from an older mountain man named Bowman. According to Bowman, a smelly humanoid creature had attacked his camp and eliminated his friend. Roosevelt, while skeptical, noted that Bowman was genuinely scared as he told his tale, suggesting that his German heritage might have made him inclined to believe in such folklore. These stories, while often viewed with skepticism, continue to be part of popular culture, discussed and debated by those intrigued by the idea of unknown beings lurking in the wilderness. Despite doubts about their authenticity, these accounts of encounters with creatures remain embedded in the stories we share about the unexplored parts of our world. There's a surprising claim that a president once believed in Bigfoot. It's quite strange to think about such a high-ranking official endorsing the idea of a giant creature hidden in our forests. Let's look more closely at what is known as the Marble Mountain Bigfoot event, which holds the title of being one of the top 10 Bigfoot sightings. This video came from a group dedicated to finding Bigfoot. They recorded something unusual on their cameras while in a snowy area. They suggest there's a figure visible among 3 patches of snow, yet the poor quality of the footage makes it difficult to see clearly. It's often said that Bigfoot causes cameras to malfunction, which supposedly explains why no clear footage exists. This notion does seem quite convenient for explaining the blurry images. The footage in question is hard to decipher. It could be merely a person walking alone in a remote area. Intriguingly, this individual doesn't seem to have any equipment typical for a hike in such a dense and remote area. It's strange to think someone would walk so deep into the woods without any basic hiking gear like a backpack. This absence of equipment makes some people wonder if perhaps it was a Sasquatch captured on video. New sightings add to the riddle, the relentless pursuit of Bigfoot evidence. Moving on to the Sasquatch Genome Project, this is a group of individuals committed to proving the existence of Bigfoot. They gained some attention when they appeared on local news in Texas. The members of this project have spent a significant amount of time and money, 5 years and $500,000, to gather evidence of Bigfoot. They claim to have captured the best footage yet of this elusive creature. The footage that made it to the news shows quick glimpses of what might be Bigfoot. These clips are short and not very clear, but they are presented as important evidence by the group. Whether these videos are actually revealing or just more unclear images to add to the collection of supposed Bigfoot sightings is a matter of debate. What is certain is that the individuals in the Sasquatch Genome Project are not just casual hobbyists. They are deeply committed to their quest, equipped with video cameras and a firm belief that they will eventually find and document Bigfoot. It's a bit far-fetched to think that joining a group to hunt for Bigfoot is as simple as signing up for an art class. When I was young, nobody ever mentioned Bigfoot hunter as a serious job option. Yet today we find ourselves discussing sightings of Sasquatch as if they are routine events. One recent sighting was reported in Virginia. Imagine this. During a normal camping trip, a father and his son encounter the legendary creature. They are excited naturally, but also scared. They manage to record this event, claiming it was a chance encounter, even though they have made similar claims 25 years earlier. Honestly, how probable is it to run into Bigfoot not once, but twice? It seems as likely as winning the lottery several times in one's life. Then there's the incident from January 2020, where a camera by the road, managed by the Washington State Department of Transportation, allegedly captured an image of a figure resembling Bigfoot near a snowy tree. Some people argue it was probably just a reckless hiker, risking severe cold by walking along a snow-covered highway. Consider this example. A Michigan man claimed his security cameras captured something strange, images that appeared to show Bigfoot. This intriguing assertion captured widespread attention, leading a television team dedicated to exploring myths of Bigfoot to visit his property. They arrived filled with hope and anticipation, only to leave without concrete evidence. The team speculated that not just one, but perhaps several of these elusive creatures could inhabit the extensive wooded area on the man's land. This theory added an intriguing layer to their quest, yet the outcome mirrored countless other searches for Bigfoot, with no definitive proof found. These explorations often kick off with a single piece of compelling media, a video or photo that suggests the existence of Bigfoot. These pieces of evidence, backed by local legends and previous sightings, draw enthusiasts and skeptics alike, each hoping to make a groundbreaking discovery. Yet, time and again, the clues prove to be ambiguous at best. Even as interest peaks, the supposed evidence tends to fade into obscurity, leaving a trail of unanswered questions. This recurring pattern underscores the ongoing saga of Bigfoot, where concrete, undeniable proof remains elusive, despite numerous claims and purported sightings. Adding a dash of drama reminiscent of the quest for long-hidden natural wonders, a recent sighting in Provo Canyon has whipped up a mix of excitement and skepticism. This modern tale echoes the historical discovery of creatures once deemed mythical, such as the panda. This comparison stokes the fires of hope among Bigfoot enthusiasts, who argue that our forests might still hide unknown giants. While the comparison to the once mythical panda offers a flicker of hope, The gap between verified discoveries and tales of Bigfoot is vast, filled with limited evidence and rampant speculation. Stories of Bigfoot continue to thrive, passed around campfires and through digital channels, stirring a mixture of excitement and caution. These narratives fuel the imaginations of amateur investigators and the curious, driving them to probe the mysteries of the unknown. One notable piece of footage from 1994, known as the Paul Freeman footage, adds a layer of mystery. It shows large, unexplained footprints and brief sightings of shadowy figures that some contend are a Sasquatch family. Although this video captivates many, it remains a controversial piece of evidence, hovering between folklore and reality. The search for Bigfoot also spans across continents. In Russia, children reportedly filmed an encounter with what they believed was Bigfoot, sparking interest even from esteemed organizations like National Geographic. Meanwhile, in the Allegheny National Forest, Rick Jacobs takes a more scientific approach, setting up camera traps in hopes of capturing clear evidence of Bigfoot's existence. His efforts reflect a shift from anecdotal tales to potential scientific validation. This ongoing legend keeps viewers engaged, pondering the thin line between myth and fact. The legend of Bigfoot endures, fueled not only by sightings, but by a continuous quest for the truth. In the serene woods north of Pittsburgh, an individual aiming to capture the beauty of nature unintentionally records footage of a figure that resembles Bigfoot. The images, notably one lacking a clear facial view, were sent to the Denver Post as alleged proof of this mysterious creature. Unlike typical forest animals, the figure appears primate-like, with shorter hair, stirring further curiosity and debate about its identity. Ancient finds reveal hidden tales, the global fascination with horrible giants. A man who was hunting on his large property in Mississippi encountered a creature. He believed it to be a skunk ape, a regional version of Bigfoot. His conviction deepened as he reflected on the experience. The video he shared was labeled as possibly the most convincing evidence of such a creature. In 2012, an intriguing expedition in the depths of the Amazon rainforest led to an extraordinary discovery. A team of dedicated researchers from Ecuador ventured into this vast, dense jungle, driven by tales of an ancient city constructed by colossal beings. Their mission was to uncover the truth behind these stories, which had lingered like whispers among the local populations. As they explored deeper into the rainforest, known for its daunting biodiversity and perilous landscapes, the researchers encountered remarkable stone structures. Among these was a pyramid of considerable size and symmetry, challenging the notion that it could be a product of natural forces. The precision with which these structures were crafted suggested skilled architects at work, not mere chance. The site was scattered with gigantic stone implements, including hammers and chisels, each so large and heavy that they defied practical use by normal human standards. These tools hinted at their users' enormous strength and size, aligning with the local legends of giant builders. The sheer size of these artifacts raised questions about the type of beings capable of wielding them. Despite the fantastical nature of their findings, the researchers believed these were not merely curiosities to be dismissed. The precision in the architecture and the scale of the tools suggested a civilization of great might and capability once thrived in what is now an overgrown wilderness. The presence of such items and structures deep in the Amazon was a testament to a potentially lost chapter in human history. Skeptics might argue that these findings could be natural formations or misinterpretations of the evidence. However, the Ecuadorian team was convinced of the historical and cultural significance of their discovery. They argued that these were remnants of a forgotten time when beings of extraordinary size and power inhabited the earth. The implications of such a discovery are profound. Unraveling the secrets of these giant builders could reshape our understanding of human history and the diversity of ancient civilizations. It suggests that the Amazon, now a treasure trove of biological diversity, might also be a cradle of forgotten human stories waiting to be retold. This discovery opens up a myriad of questions about the capabilities and extent of these ancient architects. How did they manage to construct such precise structures? What tools and techniques did they employ? And what happened to this mysterious civilization? The answers to these questions remain hidden within the lush, unyielding greenery of the Amazon, guarded by its natural complexity and the passage of time. The research team's work continues as they delve deeper into the jungle, searching for more clues and evidence to support their findings. Each expedition brings them closer to understanding the true scale of what they have discovered, hoping to bring light to this shadowed chapter of human heritage. As we reflect on these findings, we are reminded of the endless mysteries held within the natural world and our continuing quest to understand our place within it. The Amazon, with its ancient secrets and monumental revelations, continues to be a source of awe and inspiration, challenging us to rethink our perceptions of the past and the limits of human achievement. Georges Vache de la Puge in France found several large bone fragments in a Bronze Age cemetery. These fragments, parts of arm and leg bones, seem to belong to an unusually large human, estimated to be about 11.5 feet tall. These findings were later sent to a French university, where they were examined by a professor who specialized in studying ancient human conditions. He confirmed the age of the bones and suggested they belonged to a race of very tall humans. These stories, though filled with compelling details, often cross into the realm of the unlikely. Each discovery seems designed to attract more attention than to offer concrete proof. Despite the thin evidence, the stories continue to fascinate, driven perhaps by a deep human desire for the wondrous rather than a genuine search for factual understanding. Yet the pull of such tales remains strong, perhaps highlighting our love for stories that push the boundaries of our everyday reality. Researchers recently dug up huge skulls and sent them off for more detailed examination. Meanwhile, stories about Bigfoot date back to 1811 when someone first spotted enormous footprints in the wilderness. Over the years, people have gathered photos and videos that they claim show Bigfoot, a huge humanoid creature that's about 15 feet tall and usually seen in forests. These sightings aren't just from one part of the world. Similar stories are told in various countries, each with their own local version of Bigfoot, like the Russian Yeti and the Australian Yowie. Although many of these images and videos have been proven false, some people still strongly believe in Bigfoot's existence. They argue that this creature could be a surviving ancient species, forced into hiding by the growth of human communities. Tales of the West Virginia giants begin in 1774 when Jack Parsons found a very large bone by a river, leading to the discovery of an 8-foot-tall skeleton. This wasn't a one-time find. Throughout the 1800s, more oversized skeletons appeared in the area, some even taller, reaching 10 feet. However, many of these remains later vanished or were reportedly stolen, hinting at illegal trading of such rare finds. Robert Wadlow is a case of extraordinary human height that is well documented. Known through the Guinness Book of World Records and its museums, Wadlow stood almost 9 feet tall when he passed away in 1940. Born in 1918 as a normal-sized baby, his eventual height was unexpected. Today, his life-size statues and photographs are displayed, showcasing the extremes of human growth. These stories often mix genuine scientific interest with a strong desire to amaze and attract attention. The repeated discovery and loss of these giant skeletons might suggest undiscovered aspects of human history, or might just be people adding exciting details to ordinary stories. As the world changes, so do the stories about these giants, making us question the truth behind these accounts and the reasons people keep telling them. This ongoing blend of fact and fiction challenges our understanding of what is real and what is just a tale passed down through generations. He was lighter at 8 years old than at his birth, though he was a notably large baby. He grew rapidly, and by the time he was 8, he stood almost 6 feet tall, dwarfing his peers who were typically about 4 feet. His extraordinary height turned him into a public spectacle. He appeared in circuses and advertised for a shoe brand. However, his extreme growth caused serious health problems, and he died young at the age of 22. Now let's consider the legends of giants in ancient stories, though their reliability is questionable. The Greek myths, for example, talk about Atlas, a titan who fought against the gods and was doomed to support the sky forever. This fate ended when Perseus used Medusa's head to turn him to stone, forming what is now known as the Atlas Mountains. Irish myths tell of the Fomorians, Fearsome giants believed to be among Ireland's first inhabitants. Balor, their king, could eliminate with a glance from his lethal eye, which he kept closed unless necessary. A prophecy foretold his death at the hands of his grandson, leading him to imprison his daughter to prevent her from bearing children. However, she still bore 3 sons, and though Balor cast them into the sea, one survived. This son later defeated Balor, fulfilling the prophecy. The biblical story of Goliath introduces us to a giant from the city of Gath. Towering and armored, he was defeated by David, a young shepherd who used a simple slingshot to strike him down. This account has become a classic example of a seemingly weaker opponent overcoming a formidable challenge. Giant legends blur myth and reality. Sasquatch stories from coast to coast. Gog-Magog is a legendary giant from the myths of Britain, often described as one of the last giants living in the land. The story says that he was incredibly large and strong, and he lived during the time when the ancient Trojans came to Britain, led by a hero named Brutus. According to the tales, these Trojans were the ancestors of the modern British people. In the legends, Gog-Magog was defeated in a fierce battle by Corineus, who was a warrior and a friend of Brutus. Corineus and Gog-Magog had a wrestling match near a cliff, and Corineus managed to throw Gog-Magog off the cliff, which led to the giant's death. This act was seen as a great victory and showed the power and bravery of Corineus. Gog-Magog's name is thought to come from biblical characters named Gog and Magog, who are associated with apocalyptic legends and battles against the forces of good. This connection makes Gog-Magog's story part of a larger theme of struggle and triumph in ancient myths. Today, the story of Gog-Magog is celebrated in various ways in British culture. For example, statues representing Gog-Magog and Corineus can be found in the Guildhall in London, symbolizing their importance in London's history and mythology. These statues are part of parades and ceremonies that remember the city's legendary past. Norse mythology features giants too, like Runr, who lost a rigged race against Odin, leader of the Norse gods. After losing, he was invited to Asgard, where he got drunk and threatened the gods, only to be eliminated by Thor in a fight, illustrating again how giants in myths often meet tragic ends. These stories from various cultures show giants in a fascinating light, yet they always seem to face bleak endings. Whether these tales serve as cautionary stories or simple entertainment, they continue to captivate and raise questions about the nature of these mythical beings. Meanwhile, in modern times, continues with sightings like that of Bigfoot in Colorado. Stetson Parker and his wife witnessed a large, ape-like figure with unusually long arms while traveling, reigniting discussions on whether such creatures could be real. Such encounters keep the discussion alive, blending ancient lore with modern experiences. Consider this scenario. A man claims he encountered a massive creature while out in the woods hunting. He managed to film this being with his iPhone, capturing only a blurry figure that might be mistaken for a bear or a clever fake. Next up, we have a video from Mississippi showing what some say is a Sasquatch. This video, filmed by a man named Josh Highcliffe, shows the creature moving through the trees. Josh, who was hunting hogs at the time, caught the creature on camera as it roamed near a dead tree. Meanwhile, over in Owen Sound, TV hosts Ryan Willis and Joel Porter of the show Sasquatch University discuss their findings. Their show, influenced by their involvement in a Sasquatch society at college, attempts to mix academic discussion with their search for this elusive creature. They share tales of credible sightings that are just engaging enough to keep their audience waiting for more, always hoping the creature will appear clearly next time. A mother and son report seeing Bigfoot while hunting for grouse. They describe the creature with specific details about its size and the unpleasant smell it carried, like sulfur or decaying plants. This sighting is echoed by a local conservation officer who confirms that others have reported seeing something similar in the same area. Then there's the story from Tennessee, where another video of Bigfoot has emerged. This creature, described as having unusually long arms, is seen moving from tree to tree. The video is unclear, but it's enough to spark discussion and draw attention. The person who filmed it initially thought it was a friend playing a joke, but the strange movement and the size of the creature made him reconsider. These stories all share a common theme: people encountering something strange and trying to document their experiences, often with little more than grainy video footage or secondhand accounts. The lack of clear evidence leaves room for doubt, but also keeps the conversation going. Are these people merely sharing folk tales, or is there something real behind their stories? Each story is filled with details meant to convince the skeptical, yet they often serve only to maintain interest in the possibility of discovering something truly unknown in the wild. In January 2007, a surprising event took place near Tampa, Florida, that captured the local people's interest. A fisherman, while in a swampy part of the Hillsborough River, reported seeing what he believed was Bigfoot. He even took pictures of this creature. The area was very wild, filled with thick plants and often foggy, which made it look even more spooky. Later that same month, on January 25th, there was another report. This time it was Matthew McKinnon and his friend who saw something while canoeing in Lettuce Lake Park. This park is known for its beautiful views and wildlife. They saw a large figure near the river's edge and thought it might be a bear. Excited, Matthew tried to take a video with his phone. As they got closer, they realized it was not a bear. The figure was too big and stood on two legs, which is not how bears usually move. This scared Matthew's friend a lot. He was so upset by what he saw that he still doesn't like to talk about it even now. These events led to a lot of attention and curiosity. People who liked the idea of Bigfoot existing came to the area, hoping to see something themselves. They talked a lot about whether Bigfoot could be real, sharing stories and pictures, and trying to guess where it might live. The Hillsborough River area and Lettuce Lake Park, already places where people went to enjoy nature, became even more popular. Some visitors were skeptical, there just to enjoy the outdoors or prove the stories wrong. But others really believed in Bigfoot and hoped to prove he was real. Experts on animals and nature also got involved. They looked at the photos and listened to the stories, but most didn't believe Bigfoot was real. They said there was no clear proof. However, they admitted that the thick forests and swamps in Florida could hide animals that aren't often seen, which kept people interested in talking about the possibilities. Over the years, the tale of Bigfoot sightings in Tampa remained an interesting story for the local area. It added an exciting element to the natural beauty of the places where the creature was reported to be seen. The encounter that Matthew McKinnon and his friend had shows how powerful and lasting an unexpected experience in nature can be. In 2001, a group of young people belonging to a youth club went on a camping trip in California. While on their trip, they experienced something quite unusual. The leader of their group, Jim Mills, captured a video of what seemed to be a huge, unknown creature walking along a ridge far away. This video, which was almost 7 minutes long, showed the creature moving through the rough and wooded area. The quality of the video was quite poor, which made it difficult to see any detailed features of the creature. Despite this, some people believe that the video shows Bigfoot, a legendary creature thought to live in North America's forests. This recording has joined other videos that are considered by some as evidence that Bigfoot exists. Let's look more closely at the details of that day. The youth group was camping in a secluded area surrounded by thick woods. It was a clear morning when one of the campers noticed something moving on a ridge near their campsite. This camper told Jim Mills, who quickly started recording the creature with his video camera. Jim managed to film the creature as it walked slowly and strongly across the ridge, occasionally stopping as if it was looking around or sensed it was being watched. The creature seemed to be very large and was covered in dark, thick fur. Because the forest was so dense, the video did not show more specific details, which left a lot to the imagination. The group watched in silence, filled with wonder and curiosity about the creature they were seeing. While some were sure it was Bigfoot, others thought it might be a bear or some other large animal that looked different, because it was far away and partly hidden by shadows. After the creature was out of sight, the group discussed whether to go to the ridge to look for any signs of it. They decided to explore the area, searching for any clues like footprints, broken branches, or fur that might have been left behind. However, the ground was covered in leaves, and the terrain was rough, making it hard to find any clear evidence. When they got back from their trip, Jim Mills showed the video to friends and people interested in Bigfoot. The video got a lot of attention and was shared widely among those who follow Bigfoot stories. Despite the excitement, there were also people who were skeptical. They pointed out that the unclear video could easily be misunderstood and that the creature could just be another large animal, its appearance altered by lighting and shadows. Boaters in northern Ontario, Canada, captured video footage of a large figure moving effortlessly through a rocky area. The video became popular, and many viewers felt it showed a creature too large and moving in a way that a human could not, making them believe it was Bigfoot. A traffic camera in Washington state appeared to capture an image of Bigfoot. The Department of Transportation shared this image online, sparking public interest and discussion. They left it up to viewers to decide what the figure in the image was. The story of Bigfoot has been told for many years. The first reports came from Canada in the late 1800s. Since then, there have been countless reports of sightings. Despite the long history, no conclusive evidence has been presented to prove Bigfoot's existence. Matt Moneymaker, a lawyer who spends his free time searching for Bigfoot, claims to have come face to face with the creature. However, he has no photos to prove it, and his story is just one of many personal accounts. New York, several people, including police officers and a state trooper, reported seeing a large, hairy creature. This sighting is one of many that have occurred across the state. Whitehall now hosts a festival where people try to call out to Bigfoot, hoping to hear an answer. Despite numerous personal stories and some videos and photos, none have been verified as true evidence of Bigfoot. These stories of encounters keep the legend alive, inviting more people to watch for signs of this elusive creature. What do you think? Is Bigfoot real or just a myth? Leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more intriguing stories in Obscure.